What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we'll be going over inheritance in Python. Inheritance is when you inherit the methods and attributes from one class to another class. To demonstrate this, let's go to the drawing board. So in our last video we created a student class. In this student class it had attributes such as the first name, the last name, the grade. We also had methods like adding a grade, calculating the average grade. Well, imagine we had a school, and by a school we mean the people within the school, so teachers, students, administrators. These all share a common attribute, a common property, and that is they all have a first name and they all have a last name. So instead of creating initialization methods in each of these classes that all define the first name and last name, we can just have a parent class, the school class, and then each child class, or like I said, the students, the teachers, the administrators, they can all inherit this attribute, the first name and the last name, from the parent class. So what I mean by this is, imagine I have this one parent class, this is the base class, and this is the school. So S stands for school, and it has attributes such as the first name and last name, and it has methods. And now we can draw, this is a child class, and this is a student class that we created in our last video. And all this is doing is, it is every method and attribute in the school class. The student class now inherits these methods. It has them, it has access to them. So we can use the methods from the school class inside the student class. Same thing if we created an administrator class or a teacher class. These can all use the attributes and methods that are in the school class. Alright, so now let's actually program this. So this is the student class that we created in our last video. Now let's actually create the school class that I just drew up. So let's do class school. And first, let me show you what it would look like if we didn't inherit. So if we didn't inherit, if we wanted to have set the first name and the last name, we would just repeat the code here from the school class inside the student class. We don't have to do that. There's no reason why we should be doing that when we can inherit from the school class. So all the attributes and methods that we want to share within classes, we can just inherit from. Okay? So now imagine I had an add grade method and a calculate to total grade method inside the school class. Well, I don't just want to copy and paste this from the school class to the student class. I want to inherit from the school class. So to inherit, what we do is we type the name of the class that we're inheriting from inside these parentheses. So we want to inherit from the school class. And now, instead of setting self.first name and last name, all we can do is, this is going to look weird, we're going to use the super keyword. So super indicates that we're inheriting from the parent class. We're going to do parentheses dot double underscore initialization parentheses. So all we're saying is that we're inheriting from the initialization method in the school class. So I also have to pass these parameters inside this initialization method. So first name, last name. Okay, since this is what we're using from the initialization method, and also we don't need grade up here because we're not using grade. So grade is actually exclusive to the student class. So grade is not in the class school. Grade is exclusive to students. Okay? So notice that we're not using self.first name or self.last name equals first name in the student class. But we can still access the first name and the last name because we're inheriting from the school. And we're inheriting the parameters and the attributes from the school class. So I can do this. I can print the student1.first name just fine. And it does. It prints out John. We can also, actually we don't have methods in the school class, but if we did have a method, let's just make a random method. I don't know, eat lunch. Let's say everybody in the school eats lunch. Okay? And actually we don't need to pass. And all we want to do is we want to print I am eating lunch. Pretty silly method, but this is to show that we can use the method from the school class. So I can do student1 dot eat lunch parentheses, and it'll print out to do self. Forgot to add self here, and here it prints out I am eating lunch. Okay, got a little ahead of myself. So we just created a method in the school class. Notice that this method is not within the student class, but because we're inheriting from the school class, we can use this method in this with a student object. Okay, so student objects have access to the school class methods. So that's why inheritance is very important and very useful. Now let's actually expand upon this. We have one child class. The student class is a child of the school class. Now we can create another class. I talked about teachers, so let's create a teacher class. In this class, we'll also inherit from the school class. And again, we just copy this super method, super keyword, and it will just initialize the first name and the last name for us. We don't have to do anything extra. Now, what is exclusive to teachers? Well, let's say teachers have salaries. Okay, so a teacher has a salary, and we can do self.salary equals salary, and let's create a method that's called define. Let's create a method called get raise self. Yeah, so let's have a method called get raise, and actually let's do something. Let's do self.days worked equals 0. So we say that if self.days worked is greater than, I don't know, what's a good amount, 150, so you work 150 days to get a raise, then we're going to increase your salary by $3,000. And else we're going to print you're not eligible for a raise. And there's got to be a way to increase the days worked, so let's do define, I don't know, go to work, and we're gonna do, and let's enter a number, so self.days worked plus equals no. So yeah, we just added two methods to this teacher class. A method that allows you to add the number of days that you've worked, and then a method that gets a raise whether you've worked 150 days or not. So that salary plus equals 3,000. This is not perfect. I see something that I could improve, but for now this will do the job. And so we can also, just like I said, let's not print these out. Let's create a teacher object. So teacher1 equals teacher. What's a good teacher name? Bill Nye, the science guy. And Bill Nye makes $111,000 a year. And now we can say teacher1. Well, first let's print teacher1.first name to show you that it's inheriting. All right, so it prints out Bill. Excellent. Now let's try these methods and go to work just to see if we're doing things right. So teacher1 dot go to work. We have to enter a num. Let's do 100, and then teacher1 dot get raise. So, I put you're not eligible for a raise. So you're not eligible for a raise. Now let's try this, but let's add 100 more. Let's print this. Let's print the salary. Teacher 1 salary. Alright, so teacher 1 dot get raise. And then print out teacher 1 dot salary. And this should print out 114,000. It does. So we raise the salary based because they work 200 days. And yeah, and also, again, we can use the method from the school class. So what was it? Eat lunch. Teacher 1 dot eat lunch. We can do that as well. And print out I am eating lunch. So we have a school class, we have a student class that inherits from the school class, and a teacher class that inherits from the school class. So teachers and students, these are all representing the school as a whole. These all make up the school, and they all have a first name and last name. So we're inheriting this attribute and the eat lunch method from the school class. So that's a pretty cool topic, a pretty fun topic, and I hope you enjoyed inheritance. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take it easy.